First and foremost, I want to state that at the time of recording this video, the Spurs are 21-2 since the All-Star break. Now, if that isn't a contender, then I don't know what is. And I might very well not, because I thought the Rockets were going to be a 50-win team at the beginning of the season. I'm just simply stating my reasons for why they can't win this season in particular. Now, I can be wrong. It has happened before. Quite often, in fact, I'm not going to lie. I did truly believe that Ben Simmons was going to be an amazing basketball player and not a pro fisherman at this point in his career. But hey, at least he can't miss out there in the Australian Ocean, though. Unless there is a Trae Young-shaped shark that comes by and he decides to throw his rod at his teammate instead. No, Jaden Ivey, not that way.
That's why you got Steph Curry, and he not even surrendered, and y'all believe he's a Christian. Y'all believe he's a Christian because he wrote Philippians 4:13.
Now, I can't sit here and pretend I have any love for San Antonio. As a Laker fan, I can say I genuinely hate the Spurs due to 10 reasons in particular. I never understood how, as a child, what seemed to be the most boring and ordinary guy in the world who played the most boring brand of basketball was just abusing my Lakers, like how Draymond Green does to the future children of many NBA players. But as I did grow older, which somehow I did, I came to respect the subtlety of the Spurs game and still do to this day. But while I respect something, I can also critique flaws that I've noticed in my time watching the team this season. So without further ado, let's shit on the Spurs.
Oh my goodness! Jordan Clarkson almost came in my lap.
Now the first reason I do have is obviously inexperience. While this team might be too old by Josh Giddey's standards, this team is still simply too young in my opinion and inexperienced to have that type of success in the playoffs. I'm not saying that a young team has never burst out on the scene and played terrific. I'm just saying that 9 times out of 10, young teams don't make it all the way to the championship game. For instance, though, an outlier is the Thunder. For multiple years, they had the best record. It wasn't until last year, though, when they finally got it all figured out and the refs and got paid off and everything worked out for them. But people don't want to admit, still, they almost lost in the finals to a Pacers team. That Pacers team almost beat them in Game 7. If it wasn't for a Tyrese Halliburton injury, we would likely be saying the Pacers are the champions of last year, which, in my opinion, I would have definitely preferred. But still, I think this Spurs team has a lot of talent and is very young. But at the same time, I think it's going to be a year or two more before I can really look at them as championship contenders. They just need that playoff experience. Now, my second reason is one that a lot of people are not going to like. Victor Wembanyama, however you spell it, is not unstoppable. Now, before all the Spurs and Wemby fans getting into the comments angry about how I said something slightly not praising him, what I am stating is simply that Wembanyama has in fact been stopped multiple times this season by teams that aren't even good on defense, such as the Lakers, for God's sakes. Now, if you are aware, the Suns did initiate the Wemby stoppage by simply placing players like Royce O'Neal and Ryan Dunn into Wemby's center of gravity, making it harder for him to move around and figure out his spots. So instead of sticking a 7-foot big man that is slow-footed like a Karl Anthony Towns on Wembanyama, putting wings on him has proven to have success. It has worked in the past, in this season. Now, it hasn't worked all the time, and this isn't a guaranteed way to stop, because Wembanyama is still going to be Wembanyama. But this did prove that he is stoppable. And in the playoffs, teams are going to nitpick every detail in every way possible that they can to figure out how to stop him. So I would definitely expect to see more wings on Wembanyama than big man in the playoff series that go further. Now, my third reason, another one people are probably not going to like. Outside of Stephen Castle, I don't see a lot of great perimeter defenders on this team. Now, I do see good defense, but I don't see great defense. The team defense is amazing, But at the same time, I don't believe they have a bunch of perimeter defenders that are just going to be stopping all these elite point guards, especially in the Western Conference. You know, you're going against a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So you're going to have some elite perimeter defense in that. A Jamal Murray.
I don't want to put nothing around her neck. Like I don't want to have her. They said my pubes look like Jamal Murray.
Hey, hey, this is why you can't. This is why you can't.
Luka and Reeves are out for the season, but they're included in that. You're going to need that elite perimeter defense to be able to stop these great scoring point guards from dominating. Now, my fourth reason, another simple one that's not really even arguable, but Wembanyama is not going to be playing 36 minutes a night. That means that all the role players and all the other guys on this team better have to take that extra step, because Wembanyama has not played 36 minutes per night at all this season, and that's not something he's going to do. Now, he has played terrific in about 29 minutes. He has played amazing, but I just don't believe that he has the stamina, and the Spurs don't want to risk an injury for a playoff berth. I don't believe that he's going to be playing a ton of major minutes in these series that go further. Now, my fifth reason is one that I kind of hate to say because I'm a big fan of his. De'Aaron Fox. Now, he has not had much playoff experience at all, but his last time in the playoffs was 3 years ago when he had 16 points on 5 for 9 shooting with 5 turnovers and 5 fouls. That was his last playoff game. Now, in the previous games, he had some flashy performances, but struggled in foul trouble, struggled defense, and struggled with turning over the ball. I'm not saying that's what he'll do now, because there's more of a team structure in San Antonio by far than he had in Sacramento. But at the same time, it is something to observe and something to note. Now, that's really all the reasons I have. I can't really sit here and say that the Spurs are not going to win a championship guaranteed. They are a contender. They're for sure a contender. But at the same time, I will point out their weaknesses. Now, that's about all I got for you today. I hope you enjoy. Please like, subscribe, do whatever you can. Support me. Get me out of this box. I do apologize about the terrible editing. I've done this all on my phone, so I'm sure I'm going to get some comments about how bad the editing was, which please do. Give me any tips or tricks or reminders. Just comment, like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. But peace.
Bye. Have a beautiful time.